Welcome everybody to a very, very special edition of the Alternative Sports Show. It's currently midnight over here, but it's morning time over there in Tokyo because we are talking to TeamGB, Olympic gold medalist, Max Whitlock. I don't know if you get used to this anymore. It feels weird I'm saying hello, Olympic medalist from my front room, but nevertheless, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm certainly very good. Of course, it's been a great summer, of course, for yourself. It's been an incredible summer. Now, you've done it, London, Rio, of course, Tokyo. It's been one hell of a games. No, if anyone's been sleeping on a rock, of course, you've got gold. Incredible. And the incredible thing was in the pommel horse in gymnastics, of course, you went first, put a lot of your competitors under pressure.
Yeah.
And when I was watching that, I was thinking, I love that. Classic, just confident Brit energy going on. What was the kind of thought process, and how far out did you plan this kind of plan of attack?
Basically, it was very last minute. So it's a random draw how it's chosen. I've never been first up before. Somehow it's always worked out that I've been kind of more towards the end of the final every time I've been in a pommel final. I was basically originally meant to be second up. So me and Scott prepared for that situation of being second up. Then it ended up being a scenario of a joint place, which then made the draw change. And it was after all practices, all sessions and everything before the final had done. So, we prepared for being second up. It changed the last minute to being first up. So we just had to change our mindset, adapt to it, and be ready. It was difficult in many ways because every gymnast actually knows being first up is one of the hardest positions to go. We usually go into a final with 3 different options of routines and difficulty level. Scott usually watches the gymnasts that go ahead and kind of gauge what routine or what risk factor I have to take. This time, all options are out. It was literally all in. Risk was massively high. It was the biggest routine that I've ever competed. And obviously happy to do it at the right time on the right day. So it was, unreal.
Or having witnessed, your journey through, through pommel horse from 2012 to Rio to now Tokyo, I can't claim to have much expertise in what I understand about gymnastics, but the routine was mind blowing to watch. The fantastic commentary from the BBC team just had us completely hooked, and the tension throughout was pretty unbearable. And to be honest, the day that you had competed was the first full day from kind of start to finish. I got to properly sit back and enjoy the Olympics. So it had me in all kind of bits. Now, of course, it's hard to quantify, the mental preparation, the tension, the hard work that yourself and your wider team and even the family put into this moment. So from the moment that, and you've done this radio a few times now, of course, but I guess the scenario never changes from the moment that you've got gold and you're away from the cameras and you're kind of like behind the scenes. What kind of emotions, what kind of scenarios are going on? Are you kind of like in amongst your emotions? Are you kind of scrambling to get hold of a phone to get onto the family because the reactions were incredible? But what's that kind of behind the scenes moment like?
I think instantly the feeling is crazy and it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. Emotions just hit you because I think you instantly think about actually what that means, what you've done to get to that point, especially with the times that the whole world has been through. You take it back a year and a half and I was in my garden on my pommel horse training, trying to keep ticking over, trying to keep kind of in top shape because the Olympics was coming around. And even that, it was, is the Olympics coming around or is it not? It was all a big question at that time. And you talk about being a year out, having that preparation, it's not ideal for any athlete going into Olympic Games. So I think every athlete has had a lot of challenges, different ways for different individuals. And I think that actually makes it 10 times more rewarding when you achieve something like that. So it hits you like a ton of bricks. There's no doubt about that. And, I literally come off the podium on after completing the routine and hugged Scott and literally just said, I can't believe I just done that. The shock was crazy. And then obviously waiting for all the scores to come through was quite intense. But actually we just sat there and Scott just said to me, like, I couldn't have done any more. If someone beats me, they're the better man on the day. And I think we both felt the same in terms of that, because I went for my biggest routine. The risk was massively high. I went all out.
Yeah.
I done a clean routine. I couldn't have done better for myself. So whatever the result, I had to be happy for my own performance. And yeah, and then it was just a bit of a whirlwind. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was talking to media straight after that. I felt like I was just going round in circles, just rambling on, talking rubbish. So I don't know what went on after that. It was a bit of a whirlwind, really.
Well, the great, I mean, the score alone is something like, I mean, if I was even an athlete, it'd probably be something I'd get tattooed at that 15.583. Hell of a number. What a score. I feel like that would be, I think you're a far more classy guy than me, but I think that would turn into a neck tattoo if that was me. So, kudos to you for, don't take any ideas, Max. Please don't. That would be, I don't recommend neck tattoos, even though it's a hell of a score. And also shout out to the family. Of course, Willow completely took over GMB on your interview.
Yeah.
I feel for the Mrs. Leah. Tried to keep composed. That's meme worthy. How was Leah after that interview? Was she all right after having to battle with the little one crawling on it? It was gold. It was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm not sure about Leah. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was hilarious. It was good to see them on, and I didn't know they were going on. It's a complete surprise. So yeah, to see my mum, Leah, and Willow on there was really nice. Was
Right.
funny. And at the end of the day, she's 2.5. She's a young kid. She'll do what she wants. She wants to throw a blanket at Leah, she'll do it. So it was good fun, really good. And I literally cannot wait to see him. No, it's been a long time away. So we was 10 days in a bubble up at gym camp with the team, a really small squad who was traveling out to Olympics. Then we was traveling straight to Tokyo. We didn't go home in between. A holding camp for 5 days. Then it's straight to the village. Literally kept in a bubble every single time. Like, protocols have been crazy strict. Obviously, they have to be to keep everyone safe and to make sure that we could go and compete and everyone be safe at the end of the day as well. But it's been, a long time, just over a month. So I cannot wait to see them all when I get back.
The preparation for this games has obviously been very unique. Of course,
Yeah.
when we look back at these interviews, we'll be like, wow, that was kind of a crazy time, the kind of 2020, 2021, of course, the pandemic. And if, what's quite, I saw on Instagram, of course, that you fly back today, right, as well. So, of course, now it's about 20 past 6 your end. So how many hours have you got left in Tokyo before you're going to start heading over to the airport and all that good stuff?
Not too long. I think it'll be kind of an hour and a half, so maybe a little bit longer. Then we'll be heading to the airport on a plane on a long flight back. Hopefully the flight's nice and smooth. I can get some sleep. Catch up on. I'm hoping there's Wi-Fi because we've got Joe Fraser still on. We've still got one competitor to go, so that's a big shame. Like, we're leaving earlier. Everyone has to be outside the village within 48 hours back home on a flight. Because of COVID protocols, and that's a bit of a strange one. Leaving Joe, we've all kind of our 4-man team have all got a different flight home each step of the way. So Joe's on his own. He's got his finals today, which hopefully on the plane I'll be on Wi-Fi, keeping log of that.
And I know you touched upon that, of course, because it's been such a unique games in Tokyo. Has there been anything, I don't know, maybe about Tokyo, the games itself, or maybe the organization of this games? Of course, a lot of incredible work has been done to make this games happen. I mean, how can you even quantify how different this has been compared to London and Rio?
Very different, and we knew it was going to be, but it's massively different in a lot of ways. Obviously, with the strict regimes, everything that's been having to happen every single day with daily testing, social distancing, we're wearing masks, we're making sure that you're completely separated from the public. There's obviously been things that's been a huge shame with no audiences. That was a huge difference. It really, really was. But actually, a huge positive. Actually, there was still a great atmosphere in the arena. It was just a little bit quieter, and to be honest, it didn't change the feeling of actually getting that title. It's, if anything, it's made it massively special because the sport we've actually felt from home has been crazy. So I feel like because people couldn't come out and be close to the event, close to the athletes, and close to what's going on, people have really kind of made that kind of presence on social media, may kind of try and be close to the action as much as possible on where they can, really. So the support's been been crazy, and that's been a little bit different this time. It's been even more than we can ever imagine.
Last couple of things from me. Of course, you're talking about support. I think the wonderful thing about maybe the sport industry, being an athlete and people that compete from different backgrounds, it's incredible to see that people from different walks of life and different
Hmm.
professions, share and show that support. Has there been anyone from the wider sporting world that might have caught you off guard, throwing a congratulations, and you're going, "Oh, mate, I can't believe you watched me doing my thing."
um, to be honest, I would love to say I've gone through the messages, all of them, but I haven't. I've tried so hard, and that's where I say the sport's been incredible. I've obviously got amazing support from all the TeamGB guys, all like Adam, PT, Bianca, kind of everyone that's kind of come through, like Tom Daly, everyone. We've been messaging saying congratulations both ways, which has been really cool. I know it's taken me a while, but I need to get through these messages. I've got thousands that I'm like trying to get through. So I think on the plane I'll get through them, and hopefully there'll be some cool ones in there. But I can't wait to kind of go through it all.
Important question, of course. At this very moment, where is the medal? Where do you keep it? Is that kind of at an arm's length? How do you store the thing?
Yeah, it's here. It's
It's
right with
nearby.
me. And you're lucky actually. It's actually in the official box this time. It's
Oh, damn.
usually in a sock. So
Do you get nervous? Like once you've got that medal, are you kind of like careful, don't dent it, don't scratch it? Or are you kind of like, "Whoa, you got a medal, let's have it out and about." What's the vibe?
I am careful with it, especially at first. I think the first few days you want to be a little bit careful.
Beautiful.
Rio, my Rio medal. The moment I won it,
Yeah.
pretty much about half an hour after I dropped it.
Brilliant.
It fell
Nice.
out my pocket. I was actually at drugs testing. It fell out my pocket straight onto concrete floor and got a dent straight away. So I've actually been like aware of that and a little bit more careful with this one. But I think as time goes on, I've realised that actually my London medals are still in pristine condition. They
Oh,
really are.
nicely
They're
done.
perfect. Rio medals are scratched up everywhere. So I think in time, I'm sure this will get a few scratches on, because what I've realised and what I've kind of learned along the way is that actually it's not the object, it's not the item, it's not the medal, it's actually what's behind it, what the medal means to me, what the result
Absolutely.
means. So that's why, I'm sure I'll be going into seeing loads of people, showing a lot of people the medal, showing kids it. And I got to a stage with my Rio medals where I'd go into schools and I'd give it to the kid at the front, and they'd literally pass it back, the whole assembly, every kid would get a hold, and then I'd get it like at the end of the day. So it'd be, it's just, it's a great thing. And I think that can have a huge impact on young kids. So I didn't want to
Absolutely.
take that
Well,
away from them.
I got to say, I can definitely speak to the pressure. I did a shoot post 2012 with Maddie Hinch and
Yeah.
Helen Richardson Walsh. So of course we had a great 2012 of hockey, and we're doing a shoot, and we had to do a shot, but they said, "I could just hold my medals." I was like, "Oh no," the fear, and like it's a frightening feeling. So I definitely don't
Yeah, I
deserve to
can
hold.
imagine.
Definitely don't deserve to hold those. Max, last thing from me. Of course, as we've just seen the medal. Of course, as someone still in your 20s, which is crazy to say, having competed at 3 Olympics, walked away with medals across all those games. What I mean, it's probably a hard thing to advise, but what can you say to those kids, the boys and girls out there that you know watch these games, dream of maybe doing a sport,
Yeah.
gymnastics, whatnot? What can you say? What have you learned throughout this whole process that you can share as a nugget of advice to those that look up to you and say, one day, if I could have a shot at that, it would be
Yeah.
something special.
I think there's a lot of things, but there's definitely two things that have stood out in my career. And I think I was very lucky to find something that I loved from a young age. So I think, first of all, find something that you actually enjoy doing, because I loved going into the gym every day. What that meant was I loved the fact that I was improving every single day. I wanted to go in, I wanted to do more. And what I'd done more of, I got better at. That's just only natural. So find something you love and you'll definitely get better and better at it. And then secondly, I think there was a kind of a game changer moment in my career where I started just setting targets. And it sounds so simple, but actually loads of people and most people don't do it. It's very easy to kind of just plod along. The years go by so quickly, and as you get older and older, the years seem to fly by even quicker every single year. And you can easily look back, and if you haven't set any targets, 5 years have gone by, and you've kind of not really achieved much. But setting short-term, medium, and long-term targets, you 9 times out of 10 you're achieving like a lot quicker than you can imagine. So it keeps you along a path, keeps you driven, and keeps you motivated. Definitely.
Well, Max, you know, Tokyo 2020 gold medalist. Thank you very much for spending your time in your morning chatting to us here on the Alternative Sports Show. And this is a very surreal evening, night. It's now a new day.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for stopping by and chatting to us. Have a safe flight home.
Thank you.
Very, of course, happy for you to win the gold medal, but there's a part of me that's even happier that you're going to be reunited soon with your family. So all the best. Enjoy the ride. Of course, it's something you've experienced before, but I guess it never gets tiring. Thank you very much. And we shall see you hopefully again in the future.
Hopefully. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate that.